Okay, so we are back again. Now, see, I'll just tell you something about AIP. I told you AIP is Aeronautical Information Publication, and it has actually two volumes. Volume one contains part one and part two general, and we have the en route part. Okay, and volume two contains information of aerodromes. Okay, now volume one contains, it's a very exhaustive book. So very hefty, very hefty. AIP is more heftier, maybe 2 or 3 times more heftier than air radio, because air radio has only limited uh, things like only communication and navigation facilities and their frequencies and their ranges. Only that much air radio will contain. Even then it is hefty, but AIP contains a lot of information. Like in one volume, you will have uh, about the general information, everything about Indian airports. And second, you will have the en route. En route in volume two, you will have en route. And in this, actually, in en route also, all the Indian routes will be mentioned. All the VOR facilities present on the Indian routes. What is their frequency? What is their range? All these things will be. So anyway, there is no need for you to memorize all these things. And see, this it's so much of things are given here. Nothing. What you must know is what is AIP. AIP is Aeronautical Information Publication, and what you must remember is again it is issued by Airport Authority of India once in a year under the guideline of DGCA. Okay, in AIP, actually in whether volume one or volume two, you will find all particular, except communication and navigation facilities. You will not find any information on communication and navigational facilities like frequencies and their time of transmission and their range. All that you will find in air radio. Except that, all other things. Except that, all other things. Okay. So out of 102 things are in air radio and 98 are in AIP. So AIP actually is very exhaustive. In this AIP, you will have in the general section, you will have everything. Suppose we take one station for to make your understanding easy. Suppose you in AIP, in the same alphabetical order about Indian airports, whether they are controlled, non-controlled, same they are arranged. All the aerodromes are arranged in alphabetical order. Suppose find something about Delhi, you look in Delhi. Okay, there it will be written Delhi. Delhi has 2 runways. How many runways? 2. It was not given in air radio, but in the AIP it is 2 runways. What is the length of the runway? They will give. The length of the runway is so 6,000 meters. Okay. What is the width of the runway? The width of runway number so and so. Runway 27 is so and so. Runway 28, the width is so and so. And you will not believe me. And sounds very boring, but out of what material that runway is constructed, even that you will find in that book. What is the thickness or layer, what is the carpet thickness of that runway that is given, when the runway was constructed last, what the maintenance was done last, that everything is mentioned. And they will write below that runway 27 LCN number. LCN means load classification number. They'll write runway 27 what aircrafts with what maximum what weights can land, the 747 weight category, all everything about that runway particular, every single small detail which may not interest you even, all you will find. So this type of exhaustive information will make this book very hefty. Okay, AIP, Aeronautical Information, is a very thick book. All right. This I'm talking about one particular aerodrome. Similarly, all aerodromes in India, whether they are controlled or non-control. Not a single aerodrome will be left out, which is a civil aerodrome. Of course, defense aerodromes will not find in air radio also and AIP also. It's only for civil aerodromes. So in AIP and apart from Indian airports, all information about Indian airports, but not communication and navigation. Communication and navigation about Indian airports in alphabetical order you will find in air radio. In AIP, other information if you want, anything other than communication and navigation, you will find in AIP. It's very funny, but sometimes they will always give you Delhi Terminal 1, Indira Gandhi International Airport Terminal 1. There are how many rooms in that lobby? In how many waiting halls are there? Okay. And who's the doctor? Who is the doctor available there? Who is the cardiologist nearest to the aerodrome? His phone number will be given. Every single detail about in Delhi airport will be given, which may be required by you. Okay. It's given in AIP India in alphabetical order, of course. So there's no need to learn all that. For your exam, they will ask you what is AIP India. Just say it's an contains informations, all information about Indian airports, whether controlled or non-controlled, but other than communication, navigation, facilities, information. This is not found. Then they will ask you next question, the examiner. Then where will you find communication and navigation details? You say you will find that in air radio. Who publishes these books? We will say Airport Authority of India. Under whose guidance? Under guidance of DGCA. Once in a year. Okay. Right. See, on this page, if you see on page number 9, regular amendment interval. Regular amendments to the AIP will be issued once every year. The publication date will be in the month of April of each year. So every year in April, this book comes out, and from April to the next March, whatever amendments are added in this book, and the new printout will come in April each year. Amendments will be kept on, or every supplements or amendments will be kept on adding, or any annexures will be kept on adding in this book from April to March, and then next April, by the next April, the publication will come out with the amendments printed in the proper order. All right. So now, what you should know about AIP is that it is into two parts. Part 1 is general. Part 1 is general, and part 2 is en route. Part 1 general, in general you will find all the things about the Indian airports which are not of communication navigation. So no need to buy it or mug up all these things. And en route, in en route, all you will find, you will find about the Indian routes. In the Indian routes, what are the navigation facilities available on Indian routes, and what are their ranges, and what are the time of transmission, what is their identification, all this, and what is the holding procedure for the VORs there, what is the departure procedure, all these technical details you will find in that. And in third part, in that third section of that, you will find about the aerodromes. First, you found general information. Second, you found about the en route information. Third, you found about the aerodrome itself, all the Indian airports, about them, the information, like I told you, runway and all that. What are the type of runways used, what is the load classification number of the runways, and what are the magnetic headings, or you can say the QFUs of all the runways, all these things. Okay, but you will not find a single information on communication and navigation frequencies in this book in AIP. That you will find in air radio. These are the two publications, and hardly last 7 or 8 years they have not asked any question on this thing. They have more interesting things to ask, but it was my duty to tell you because it's a part of your syllabus. They may all of a sudden sometime ask you also. Okay, again on page 17, again after the abbreviation, again they repeated this in volume 2. What is their grouping of aerodromes? Okay, international aerodromes, all these international airports you will find, and all the domestic airports details you will find in the AIP. Okay, that is not important. Now tomorrow we'll go to the NOTAM part. Again, see, NOTAMs is not over. Actually, it has not even started. NOTAM, I just told you the two types of NOTAMs, the class 1 and class 2. Now there are a lot of other things to be discussed in NOTAM that we will discuss in class tomorrow, and we will see tomorrow the Q codes and this. And apart from that, I will tell you one or two more interesting things. I realize now, because part 2 you will find slightly, not very enthusiastic, but we have but I try to make it interesting. I'll tell you something more interesting. I'll try to discuss some interesting topics in Viva also tomorrow. But it's my limitation that I have to tell you all these things, because they may ask you questions. Although interesting or not interesting, we have no other option. or no choice but to answer the questions of WPC. So whether it may seem disinteresting to you, but we have to study it. We have no way out. Anyway, we'll meet tomorrow and discuss Viva more in deep tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.